Once upon a time, we see a lovely couple who were engaged but had recently married. Ivan is the boy's name, and Nastya is the girl's name. After a short time period, Ivan's sister invites them to her house. And this new couple moves there to meet her. When they arrived, Ivan's sister greeted them warmly. And Ivan's sister named Liza tells Nastya that I am a nurse by profession. And my kids with my father also stay in this home. Ivan's sister brings Nastya to see her room and explains that Nastya's grandmother also resides here but has been ill for a while. So she does not come outside from her room and remains separate. After a few times, Liza is nearly to give a ring to Nastya saying it is our family ring. This has revolved in our family. Indeed you are wedded but we will rearrange your marriage, that is our family tradition. Hearing his sister, we can see Ivan's unpleasant expression. And he wants to return back from here next day. But Ivan's sister stops him saying you cannot go. Otherwise, let's go to tell you, this ring can badly harm anyone that will be appeared ahead. When Nastya is in the washroom, she feels the presence of someone there and she is horrified. When she tells Ivan everything, he says there is nothing, just ignore it. It may be your hallucination and the topic is closed here. It is the late night time. Nastya wakes up after sleep and notices Ivan is not with her. She observes going downstairs, Ivan is conversing with her sister. Both brother and sister are in argument. If we don't do it then satanic power will destroy everyone. And Nastya is hearing everything but both are unaware about it. Hearing it, she comes back to her room and pretends to sleep. After a while, Ivan also comes back to the room and says to Nastya we will leave next morning, assuring his love. And just sleep now. Dawn breaks out and waking up Nastya finds Ivan is not with her at that time. When she goes downstairs, notices some hanging pictures in the corridor. It includes a single image of a male and female. Where is Ivan? Nastya asks Ivan's sister. He is not before my sight. Liza says he has gone to the city for a meeting with his old friends. Hearing, it seems strange to Nastya but she takes it truth. Then Nastya tries to contact Ivan through call but his phone is out of reach. After a time when Nastya comes outside, there are some graves. And Liza arrives there at the same time. She gifts a wedding dress to Nastya for wearing. Liza helps Nastya while wearing the wedding dress and also ring. While talking, she says that this wedding dress and ring are part of the family's tradition and custom. The owner of both things was our grandmother, then they owned our mother, and now these are for you. It means you are a new daughter-in-law. You will wear all these things now. And you will be married again according to the family tradition. Nastya feels bliss but she had never heard such customs before. And she is searching about these customs on laptop, which things are required in it. While she is searching and sitting in her room, she hears some voices coming from the wardrobe. She is a little afraid. Opening the wardrobe, she observes a secret door. This secret way is connected with each corner of the house. Means, it leads to every room even outside the room. Meanwhile, arriving there, Liza's son tells. My sister is in this way and her foot has trapped there in some place. Will you help us? Nastya goes to that secret way, making her purpose to help. She helps that girl who is freed from there, observing a secret room. She wishes, why not it should be visited. And Nastya and those two kids go in that room. In this dark secret room, they notice a dark shadow. When they see it, they are all terrified, and the children exclaim, she has arrived. However, Nastya is unable to understand the children's spoken words. What the kids are saying, who has come? Those kids are not talking of other one but the bride. They return back to their rooms getting no harm. When Nastya is in her room, she is looking at herself in the mirror. Suddenly she looks another Nastya there, it is not her reflection but another thing acting differently. Nastya is terrified when she sees it and rushes outside while running. Another Nastya who was in the mirror appears. Seeing her, Nastya is frightened and falls on the floor, losing her senses. When Nastya comes into consciousness, she finds herself in the same house but in past years. It means, she is observing the old incidents. Coming into the house, she sees Ivan's grandfather. Many other people are also present in that house who are running towards downstairs from the upper room. Ivan's grandfather wants to go upstairs but people are stopping him. But Ivan's grandfather does not stop and forcefully enters into that room. At the same time Nastya again comes into consciousness. Means, she is now in her current time. The old incidents were his imaginations which she dreamt. It has a great connection with reality. Now Nastya is in senses. And Liza and her doctor friend are also with her who gives her medicine saying you will be alright taking it. When Liza leaves, the doctor then asks Nastya in a friendly manner that are you virgin? Hearing it Nastya feels strange thinking which question is being asked from her. Nastya tells that I am virgin while she is telling a lie because she had married a few times ago. This doctor was also the member of this family that is unrevealed even from Nastya. After that, Nastya tries to call Ivan continuously but his number is still switched off. She sends a voice message to Ivan that I cannot live in this house more. I am realizing a satanic power here and I am running from this house. As she is leaving the house, she hears the conversation between Liza and the doctor. They are talking with each other as there may be a problem if Nastya is not virgin. Liza tells about his brother named Ivan that he has completely changed, he is not supporting his family members. In that girl's love, he has completely transformed. Nastya is nearly running from here, as she is in her car, notices the doctor coming outside from the house, the same doctor is begun to move at a place. Doubting, she pursues that doctor. That doctor enters into a house where Ivan is captive. That doctor is giving her some edible things for the sake of his life. When the doctor leaves, Nastya calls Ivan, a thick glass of window dissolves the sound. On the other side, Ivan time and again asks Nastya to run but Nastya understands nothing. Meanwhile, a bride appears at the backside. Nastya's nose bleeds as that satanic bride comes. And she feels feebleness and is trying to escape but unable to run as her all strength has lost. While struggling to escape, Nastya is fallen into a dug grave. As she falls into the grave, horror wraps her. She feels the presence of another being in the grave and it is no one but the bride. After a time, the bride leaves. And after that, Nastya begins to come outside, where Ivan's father helps her and brings her into his house. Coming into the house, drugged tea is given to Nastya by Liza and the doctor, as a result Nastya again loses her senses. After losing her senses, Nastya is again gone in the past years in the same house. And she again sees Ivan's grandfather. You may have remembered when last time Nastya was catching sight of past years. Then Ivan's grandfather was going upstairs to the room pushing others but Nastya sees the next sight. Now Ivan's grandfather is present in a room with a girl. And Nastya is also observing everything standing in that room. This late girl seems sick but satanic powers penetrate in that girl gradually and she looks like a Satan. And attacking Ivan's grandfather, she kills him and after that, it starts to attack Nastya. The main plot is revealed here as a machine is invented in the time of Ivan's grandfather. A dead person's soul could be shifted into another human being through this machine. And here is also the same occurrence. Firstly, Ivan's grandfather captures the photo of his dead wife and the soul of his real wife is also captured. But the question is now that the soul needs a body. That soul needs a body. These people catch a virgin of a village who is buried in a grave. That picture is also kept in that grave through which that soul may shift into a new human body. And it happens as it is, a ring is also worn to that buried girl. And that soul is transferred to that girl through that ring. When they dig the grave then that soul is not completely shifted. So, that girl had killed Ivan's grandfather that we saw before some time. It means, evil powers have penetrated that girl. Satan has bewitched her. The more past time is shown in the movie when Ivan's grandfather was taking the photo of his dead wife. The soul is also captive in that photo. He hides that photo in a secret place. It is the same secret place where Nastya and kids had visited and had a look of bride. Now Nastya is unconscious and in present time. Nastya tries to escape but some presented people locks her in a dark room catching her. Nastya sees a alive dead body there that is bewitched by bride. Being bewitched, dead body moves to Nastya slowly. Frightened Nastya tries to avoid it but she cannot do anything. Meanwhile Ivan comes there and saves the life of Nastya taking her out. One more thing is revealed here, that a dead woman who comes after Nastya is actually bewitched by bride. And this is the reason that Liza and Doctor want to arrange a ritual on Nastya, so that the soul of bride may be extracted out from that old lady and transferred the bride into Nastya. It means, their purpose is to shift soul from the old lady to Nastya. So they are planning as such. Now we come to the main story. Ivan is escaping with Nastya towards his city. He asks Nastya for forgiveness on the way there, stating, "My family meant to hurt you. To an extent I knew about it. My family wanted to shift the bride's soul into you, doing it you might get harm that I never wanted but love you." He also says that this will go on until we destroy the bride's photograph. Either it may be burnt or torn. Hearing it, she says, "Perhaps I have seen that photo. Living in your house, I was observing many things and also had sight of strange photo. And I know where this photo will be found. And this photo is basically in the same secret room where Nastya had a first look of that photo." As they are going in their car, an accident is occurred with their car. The people who cause the accident are no one but the family people of Ivan, so that they may bring them back harming and perform a ritual. Ivan is injured in this accident with no much harm. These people bring Nastya back in their house. The ritual is started on Nastya forcefully. First of all, ring is worn to her, and after that closing her in a coffin, nails are hit on it. Nastya screams saying, "Leave me." But they don't take pity on her. And then coffin is put in the grave, casting dust over it. In coffin, Nastya is crying, at the same time she looks at the bewitched dead body. That dead body gradually moves towards her and also begins to bewitch Nastya so that she may transfer itself into Nastya. Coffin quakes swiftly during this whole process. This is a horrible sight. Shivering coffin suddenly stops. On the other side, we see Ivan, who is senseless in car. Coming into his senses, he starts to move towards house. Returning to house, he brings out the coffin from earth. When the coffin is opened, Nastya is aroused from that coffin, who is totally bewitched by the Satan. This malevolent force has possessed Nastya, and she declares, "This girl is not a virgin." It is the Satan, not Nastya, who speaks. When the surrounded people hear that Nastya is not virgin, they go about to run in fear. Liza, Doctor, and other got it that they have committed a big mistake. And they will have to pay for this mistake. Nastya is again lose her senses. Meanwhile the bride comes outside, leaving the body of Nastya. And first of all kills that doctor. Liza's friend Doctor is no more, but Liza goes inside the house so that she may save her kids and run. But she is in the same house that the bride comes into house. And Liza says in fearful manner, "Don't harm my kids. Let them go." Scene is skipped here and Ivan comes to Nastya quickly. Ivan saves the life of Nastya, rising her, and says sorry for all of these happenings. And Nastya also comes into conscious while bride throws Liza outside from the house. Liza gets wounds but not much harmed. It means she is alive. Hearing these sounds, Nastya, Ivan, and other people move to that secret room, and within a time Liza also arrives there. They are all there, but at the same time the bride also approaches there, attacking them. Liza removes the ring from Nastya's finger and puts it on her own. Because she is aware of the ring's direct connection to the bride. When bride notices that Liza has worn her ring, she pulls her. And Liza is bewitched by bride. Bewitched Liza comes to that secret room and asks her to return her kids. Nastya does not want to do as such because it was clear that she is not Liza but the bride. Anyhow, she is departing, taking the kids. Nastya brings her photo from the secret room, threatening to burn it if she doesn't leave the kids. Looking at it, the bride leaves the kids and says don't harm that photo doing anything. While conversing, the bride attacks Nastya. The photo in her hand is fallen down due to this attack. She is nearly to kill Nastya that Liza's daughter voice is heard at the backside, "Don't kill her." Hearing the voice of her daughter, Liza's senses are started to restore and she leaves Nastya. Within a moment, Liza is again bewitched by the bride. When she knows it is uncontrollable, she burns herself with photo. It means, there is neither Liza nor photo. As a result, the bride is also gone fully. Liza's sacrifice saves the lives of all family members. The story of this movie concludes here as well.